So how do I know about all this stuff? How do I know about all these internal struggles? Yep, I used to be there. And you know what? I still work on my stuff. I just took the month of August off. And I took 2 weeks to really just sit, and then 2 weeks of intense personal growth and development. Why? Because I want to get to my next level. New level, new devil. There's more stuff to work on. Just get used to it. I turn to the person next to you and say, I thought I could just do it once. Many, many times in my career so far, I have been in this place. Why am I not getting to the next level? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why is it happening for them and not for me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Anybody relate? Yep. And there got to be a point at which I was frustrated. Enough. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on. And so I made a decision. I made a decision, and I want you to write this down, please. I no longer wake up in the morning to be mediocre. Say it with me. I no longer wake up in the morning to be mediocre. Turn to the person next to you. Say it to each other. I no longer wake up in the morning to be mediocre. How's that feel? I see a lot of smiles, right? This is your new mantra. When you look in the mirror in the morning, say, I did not wake up this morning to be mediocre. Watch me. Can you practice it with me? I did not wake up this morning to be mediocre. Watch me. In fact, you want to have that little attitude thing, right? Or I should do like circle. Oh. Which arm? This one or this one? The right one? All right, are you ready? This is how I'm going to do it. And the hip too? Oh, and the hip. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Do you think you can handle it? I did not wake up to, sorry. I'm focused on the camera. This is where my ego stepped in, Heather. Like my ego just stepped in. Retake. Take two. Woo. I did not wake up this morning to be mediocre. Watch me. So I made a decision. Everything starts with a defining moment where you make a commitment. Everything starts with a decision. Because until you make the decision, nothing can show up in your life. Deep breath in. And I decided to get really real about what's going on. Right? I looked at my fears. And I stopped being afraid of my fears. And I examined my beliefs. Man, belief systems. Whew. I changed my money consciousness. I went from lack mentality, poverty mentality, to abundance mentality, to wealth mentality. I'm going to help you do the same this weekend. Woohoo! I upgraded my self-image on the inside. Who I see myself to be, who I think I am, and what I believe I can create in this lifetime. I began doing things that other people weren't willing to do, and were too busy to do, and were too proud to do. And it paid off. And I really looked at those excuses. I stopped using excuses. I started saying yes. I started investing in myself big time. Why? Because, can I tell you a story? I invested in a business a few years ago. I invested $50,000. Somebody else's business. Not my business. Doesn't that seem odd to you? I have my own business, and I'm investing in somebody else's business. $50,000. How much did I get back from it? Nothing. Nothing. It wasn't mine. I couldn't control it. And I started really looking at, okay, why am I investing in others when for a fraction of that, I could create massive results in my own business? So I started investing in myself. And say this to your partner. I will now invest in myself. Because you keep who you become, and when you invest in yourself, that doesn't change. That doesn't leave you. Does that make sense? Yeah? I got out there in a much, much bigger way. Enough of this little dinky action. Let's get out there in a big way. Let's just get out there, right? I started taking a lot more action. Just like boom, boom, focus, stay on task, get it done. I'm going to show you how. All of this, I'm going to show you how. I learned how to squash the self-doubt. You know that little voice, right? I'm not so sure if this is going to work. Am I really meant to play this big? Maybe they don't want that. They won't pay for that. Anybody ever have any of those? And if you don't raise your hand, I don't know. You're not being truthful. And I began to come from a place of positive expectation. No matter what I saw in front of me. Go like this. La 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 la, I don't hear you. Go ahead. La 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 la, I don't hear you. That feels good. You should see what happens when you do it, right? No matter what you see in front of you, you take action anyway. And I grew to have faith. Who talks about faith in business? Me, right? Yeah. I grew to have faith. And that, my friends, is when very quickly I tripled my income in 1 year. I tripled my income in 1 year to $1 million. In fact, it was in 9 months. 9 months. And then since then, that was in 2008, as of about a month ago, we are one of America's fastest growing private companies. Holy crap! How is that possible? Woo! Wait till you see what I say later. Patience, faith, and reward. It's all the internal work, right? That is how you can get a 543% growth in your own business over a period of 3 years. Turn to the person next to you and say, that would be very nice. And I'm not just a one case, isolated case. I helped 4 women pass the $1 million mark last year. Woo! And some of them are here.